Recorded live on DementiaRadio.org, it's the Funny Music Podcast. Brought to you by FuMP.com, where you can download new free comedy songs twice a week. Now, here's your hosts, Devo Spice and the great Luke Ski. Now, here's your host.
Hey, Devo!
Hey, sorry, I have the, god damn it, I have the Twitch chat.
Hey, Devo!
Hey, all right. Sorry, my bad. I have the Twitch window open so that I could get into the chat, and it started playing the cast. So I was hearing myself on like a 10-second echo. So my apologies. Welcome to episode 533 of the Funny Music Podcast. Candy Sarcophagi is the name of this week's episode. Welcome to the show, Mr. Robbie Ellis. How you doing, Robbie?
Hey, good to see both of you. Congratulations on another FuMPFest.
Thank you.
I suppose it's less organization in one sense and more organization in another.
Yeah, I was thinking the exact same thing. Mostly as I was doing it, I was like, man, there's less stuff I have to keep track of, like from a physical sense, and there's more stuff I have to do from a digital sense, as far as like organizing and getting video and audio clips together and all of this, the digital setup and stuff. And that took a lot out of me.
Thank you for fighting the good fight.
Well, somebody's got to do it. And okay.
It's like, I guess should talk about what's been going on the past week.
Hang on.
Let's get caught.
Oops, sorry.
Let's get caught up with what Devo and Luke have been up to since last week. Or else Devo, if Luke bailed and didn't show up.
Hey, what?
Oh, he's right.
Got to do it officially.
Yes. So, I honestly don't have anything else of major importance to talk about other than FuMPFest. I guess I could mention I went to my new friend Elizabeth's place the other day, and I watched the movie It for the first time, the newer version, not the Tim Curry version.
Oh, cool!
And that was
film.
Cool. She's very much into horror movies, so I'm trying to think of all the horror movies that I haven't gotten around to seeing yet. So yeah. So that was cool.
If you want recommendations, I'm a lifelong horror movie buff. So.
Well, I was thinking, like, I know that, okay, I haven't seen Reanimator. I haven't seen Us. It's like, I just basically want to go through, like, all the movies, like the top 200 movies of the, every year for the past decade or so, and just look for all the horror movies that I never got around to seeing, and, just watching all those. But anyway, do you have anything else to talk about besides FuMPFest?
Not really. I actually went back and rewatched the FuMPFest video and took notes for like what songs I want to put on the FuMP compilation, and what any particular video clips I want to call out for the highlights video for the FuMP Volume 82. So I finished doing that last night. I have to put together a playlist of the songs and see how long it is and see what adjustments I need to make. But this compilation is going to come together quickly for reasons.
Reasons.
So, is there anything you wanted to talk about FuMPFest? I don't want to take too much of Robbie's time because we got to talk to him too.
I guess the main takeaway from it was that, like, we had that, weird audio speed bump at the very, very beginning, but
yep.
And it was funny, but once we got past that, the rest of the night seemed to go without a hitch, pretty much.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, a few little flubs here and there. One of the funniest ones was when Shoebox unplugged his headphones and worked it into the song he was performing.
Yeah, that was great.
But yeah, that audio glitch at the beginning, that's going on the compilation album. That's starting off the album, because that was just so damn funny. And my father apologized for calling afterwards, and I was like, no, you don't understand how funny that was. I was like, that was fantastic. So.
But yeah, and I'm happy, just with my segment in the showcase, the fact that I was able to figure out a way to do the the way I wanted to do it with the equipment I already owned. It just kind of, blew my mind. It's like, wait, you mean this actually works? Holy crap. So
I don't have to spend more money. Yay.
Yeah. And then,
Oops. Wait a minute.
Oops. At this point, I'm going to mime what Luke Ski's mouth looks like doing.
Yes.
He's going to move his mouth.
Luke,
No
we
noise
can't
is gonna
hear
come
you
from him.
at all.
Yeah. Time.
Luke?
Home. And if we go to and demonstrating pointing at the pointy thing, and then putting it over there, and then that's how you make the pottery in Ghost with Patrick Swayze.
That was fantastic. But yeah, Luke, we can't hear you at all. We got nothing. Nope.
Nope. No, we did hear your
We did.
XLR cable adjust.
Yeah.
What's on your t-shirt there?
Mine? It's a one-up mushroom.
Animal Crossing. Oh, I think we got something. Don't touch it. Don't.
check.
There we are.
Hey!
Sorry, that was one of the things I had to do setting and figuring out my setup was I took a couch cushion off of a chair over there and I put it underneath this mic stand just so that me like standing and moving back and forth on the floor wouldn't jostle this and make that noise go off and turn my sound off. So
Can I show you? Like you've got a dodgy XLR cable.
Mm-hmm.
I too have a dodgy XLR cable. Let me just find this. I'm pretty sure it's broken. If I move right up in here, we've got a kitten. I don't know how well you can see this, but the cat is about a year old, and she is a right little bitch about chewing cables, and I'm pretty sure she's destroyed this XLR cable. So I am currently using the only working XLR cable I have in the entire apartment is one that work issued me for like a home recording kit.
Nice.
And I need to buy some more that I personally own. Yeah, put that up there.
So yeah, I'm very happy with the way FuMPFest came out. I do want to look into like improving the setup so that the audio sounds better, the music sounds better, everything coming across the stream. Amy Englard had a suggestion for a different service other than Zoom because it's like designed for musicians or something like that. And it was just like 3 days before FuMPFest, and I just didn't have time to look into it and try it out. So that's on my list for, the next couple of weeks. I will look into it. And if we decide to do something monthly or quarterly or whatever with, online concerts, we'll probably use something like that. But I think it went pretty well, I got a nice...
I mean, the only other weird thing, and I guess it would only kind of come into play during the years that or the whole Logan Awards thing. It's like I'm not sure what we can do other than like mute the audio during those things, but then it kind of makes it pointless.
Yeah, the
show them.
That was the other suggestion. Somebody in the chat, I can't remember who it was, I apologize, suggested another new streaming service, like Twitch and one of these things where you can stream on. But they apparently have licenses with ASCAP and BMI or whatever is necessary so that people like me can play copyrighted music when I stream. So I think what we may have to do is I'll look into that service and we will then relegate the Logan Awards to that service if it looks like it will work. And we just won't cast the Logan Awards on Facebook or YouTube. We did not get taken down from Twitch, but there were afterwards they did mute sections of the video, which is fine. We can deal with that as long as the live stream is not interrupted, and then we'll just simulcast the Logan Awards on that other service, and we'll just be done. So, all right.
Did you want to tell them about the listener count and everything? Or?
Oh, sure. So we came in at about 170 unique viewers who tuned in at one point or another during the evening. We averaged about 140 for the evening, which I think is really good. I honestly was not expecting that many. So I'm really happy with the results. I got a very nice email from Dr. Demento saying he had tuned in and watched the entire thing, which was very nice. So yeah, that's about all there is to say about that. It really couldn't have gone much better, for our first attempt at a virtual online 6-hour event. I think it went pretty well.
Yeah, and we may do other smaller scale things like this in the future.
Yeah.
Once we've had some time to mentally recover from this one. So
yeah, it's going to be a while. I'm still getting caught up on stuff. So Robbie, what have you been up to?
Well, there's been a pandemic on.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's that. I kind of underwent a reasonably major life change simultaneous with the pandemic, in that I went to full-time employment after having been a freelancer for a solid 7 and a bit years.
Nice.
And in that time, I'd moved continents and remained a freelancer, and I'm ultimately very proud of how I established myself in Chicago and picked up work and made connections and, juggled all the various small gigs and small bits and pieces. And I was tired and ready to have a day job. And I'm probably the luckiest motherfucking arts freelance. Am I allowed to? I just did.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm probably the luckiest arts freelancer on the planet, because I started a full-time job with benefits in the arts on March 29th.
That's perfect timing. You couldn't have done that better if you tried.
Yeah, the boss approached me early March, so nothing had locked down yet, except maybe in Seattle, but nothing had locked down.
We locked down mid-March in New Jersey.
Yeah, us too. Nothing had quite locked down, but this whole thing was looking dodgy. And at that time, I was still due to go to New Zealand and do like a tour and improvise the Jane Austen musical as the music director, like 23 dates in all these small towns. And it was going to be, like real fun. Improvisers I'd worked with for years and years and years back in New Zealand. And anyway, I got offered this full-time job, and I said, well, I'm going to New Zealand. I can start it in June. Correction, I can start it in like 3 weeks. So, yeah. That's how it works. But no, I'm really enjoying the job. The main part of it is producing a radio show that profiles young classical musicians in the Chicago area.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah, it's a really cool job. I get to, like, I haven't met any of them in person yet, but I get to, interview them and play their recordings and work with them and try and get them recorded, at various venues around the place that'll let us in during a pandemic. And,
right.
yeah, it's a really cool job getting to work with, musicians who they're great performers. They might be a bit more scared doing interviews, but that's the case for a lot of musicians. So yeah.
Oh, well, that's very cool.
It
Well,
is quite
congratulations on landing a gig at the most opportune time.
Yeah, especially since all the teaching, all the other gigs just went up in smoke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you posted a song.
I did.
Give us a quick intro to this song and we'll give it a listen.
It is the parody to end all parodies.
That works for me. Here is Listing All the List Songs by Robbie Ellis.
12 days of Christmas, you're the top Route 66 end of the world as we know it, REM. Anything you can do, I get a kick out of you. Bad touch, 1 week, rents la vie bohème. Sound of music, favorite things, mambos that Lou Bega sings. Around the world by Red Hot Chili's catalog from Don Giovanni. I've been everywhere, man. Modern Major, General Stanley, area codes by Ludacris. Mercado's got a little list, listing all the list songs. Billy Joel, Cole Porter, writing what they oughta, listing all the list songs. At my basic essence, I'm a singing reference, listing all the list songs, because I like it better when my song is meta, listing most of the list songs. If there's more you need, you go to Wikipedia. That was my song.
Wonderful. So what was the inspiration behind this song?
Oh, I'm a fan of list songs. I'm a fan of patter songs in general. I did Pirates of Penzance. I've actually done 3 productions of Pirates of Penzance at different times in my life.
Okay.
Never played the Major General, but
Aw.
I don't. Well, I've mostly been. Twice I've been in the band, and
You'd
once
look good with that weird beard without the bottom part. I don't know what that's called.
Yeah, it's the very twirly moustache if you want, and
Yeah.
The inspiration. I just thought, listing all the list songs. It's just came out of singing that to the Billy Joel song, and then it was really just filling in the gaps, and recognizing that if I extended the song beyond that, I would be getting into the territory of even more obscure list songs. And it's diminishing returns.
Right.
Writing any more than that. So I know that the FuMP requests that a song be no shorter than 1 minute 30. That was 0 minutes 52.
That's fine.
But thanks for taking it.
It's fine. It's fine. I'm going through the lyrics now because I want to see if you minor major giant. You did not mention the Weird Al song. There's a couple of Weird Al list songs you could probably have mentioned.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Were there any other that you wanted to work in that you didn't?
Hold on. Let me consult my little note song things here. No, I can't remember where I put it. This is what happens when you have too many directories. Might be on my phone. Hold on. Talk amongst yourselves. And maybe I just deleted all of it. I know that I had a few of them.
I'm impressed that you mentioned Area Codes by Ludacris.
Oh yeah.
I did a parody of that song way back when.
Well, look, Area Codes by Ludacris is just a modern updating of the catalog aria from Don Giovanni.
I'll take your word for that.
All right, so Don Giovanni, the Mozart opera, libretto by Lorenzo. This is me, classical radio guy. I can educate you.
Go for it.
The catalog aria from Don Giovanni is sung by Leporello, who's sort of like Don Giovanni's valet dude, and he's warning this woman, like Don Giovanni, legendary like dickhead to the ladies, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he says, "Madamina, il catalogo è questo." Madam, the catalog is ready. And it's like Don Giovanni has had 300 lovers in Naples, 200 in Italy, 500 in Germany, 1,001 in Spain. He's just like listing how, like, he's got a list of every woman that Don Giovanni has bedded.
Okay.
And he's warning this woman. So Area Codes by Ludacris, I have women in this number, and in this number, and in this number, and in this number. It is 2 centuries on, from Mozart into Ponte, same shit, same bragging, same little book.
I'm impressed. I had no idea, but you're absolutely right. It's the same concept.
Yeah.
That's great. So what else is going on with you?
What else? Well, should say that I've done like an outside show. I've done one outside show. Jen's on the phone with her mum.
It's all right.
Yeah, we got a 1-bedroom apartment, and my computer is so old that I can't do a virtual background. It doesn't have the processing power for it.
Ah, okay.
I've done one outdoor performance in Winamac Park on the north side of Chicago, and I did that parody song there. That's one of the few things I've written during lockdown. What else? There's a cold reading session called Tuesdays at 9. It's primarily for playwrights, and they submit things, and it's cast on the night, and they get whoever turns up is the actors who get cast. They always have a musical guest, so I've performed occasionally through that. I always like writing songs in reaction to the plays that have just happened in the first half. So I've done that. I've done that virtually as well. I get to mix various, I'm just like working super, super quick in Logic. And what was one that I did? I created a song called British Technology because there was a show like about some futuristic thing. He said it in Britain. Starts with this sound. Ooh. Welcome to a TV show that's set in the future, but this TV show song was written in the past compared to that future, etc., etc. Real dumb things like that. But otherwise, there is some biggish news of a project that doesn't have a title yet. However, it's happening, and it's happening quite quickly thanks to the organizational skills of one Matt Haas. It is currently called Group Comedy Album. At least that's what our Facebook chat is called. And there are 10 of us, and we're all collaborating on songs. So there are some FuMP familiar names. Jake Dewar is in there. Ross Childs is in there. Debonair Status, and whose mother called him Devin Middleton, is in there. Matt Haas is organizing. Noel Hoffman, a.k.a. Songs About Dicks. I'm using my pinky as I count off number 5. Who else? Jamie Schreiner-Biddle, Heather Mazer, Becca Tam, and Take Zachary, and myself. That's nice. Right, 10. So we're the vast majority of the songs on this upcoming album are collaborations, and people are feeding in different tracks. And I'll ask Ross to feed in a guitar track, and Jake asks me to feed in some trumpet tracks, and Matt asks me to feed in a piano track, and there's going to be a song called Metal Mariachi, so I'll probably feed in some trumpet tracks of that.
Nice.
Yeah, we're meeting quite regularly. It's coming down to the crunch. We don't have an album title yet, so we'll just have to promote that when we actually have something to promote.
That's an awesome idea. Have you found it difficult to write during the pandemic? Because I know some people have said they've been really, really super creative, and other people have said that they've been really depressed and not been able to write anything. And I've kind of been going through fits and spurts where I don't do anything for a long time, and then all of a sudden, brain starts working again and I can write again.
I'll tell you that having this album project where we're all accountable to each other has been really helpful. Because otherwise, I've always been kind of writing when the inspiration comes or when there's been a deadline. I've never been particularly good about, it works for some people, but the setting aside 1 hour a day to write, no matter whether it's shit or whether it's good.
Yeah.
I've never been that sort of person. Kind of wish I was, but
I could never do that with songwriting generally, but other than, when I get in those modes where it's like, okay, I have a whole bunch of ideas in my head, I want to sit down and work on this, and I'm like, okay, I need to empty out the dishwasher first type thing, and then I'm like, okay, I will write after I empty out the dishwasher, and then I do that. But like when I wrote a novel back in 2011 for NaNoWriMo, and for when I did that, I specifically said, okay, I'm going to go upstairs to bed every night at 9 o'clock and write. And I did that. And that's how I was able to meet my word count, and I got it done. I haven't done anything with it since I finished it, but I need a few more edits. But it was interesting because it was a different type of writing, even though it was still creative writing. And I don't know whether I could schedule myself to write like that with music or not. I always seem to want to, let things bounce around in my head for a while until they start popping out, and then I sit down and write. You know what I mean?
I like to have a deadline which is decently enough in the future but has enough parameters on it. And if I've got those parameters and I got that deadline, I will generally think of something. So I'm a composer by training, for orchestras and choirs and that sort of thing. And that's always been the case on the few occasions that I've received commissions. So when people pay you to write things, which is wonderful, and I wish I got more of them. And if I had more of them, I wouldn't have to work in a day job.
Right.
But if there's a decent enough deadline, then I can generally come up with something. And I actually say that's something, a niche that I'd really like to get into. And I need to pursue this a bit more if I want to, is comedy choral music. So I believe that there is a market, because there are a lot of choirs out there in the world.
Yes.
And there's a market for being the niche publisher of funny stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I reckon that I could turn that into a business. I mean, a lot of people say, "Oh yeah, I'm going to turn this into a business." But with enough contributors and enough contacts, and I'm fairly well placed to do that, given that I live in Chicago and there's this huge comedy writing scene.
Yeah.
And it's also a very, very established musical center as well. And you could find enough people, and you churn out the content and market whether it's family friendly, and you make sure that there are plenty of selections that conservative choirs won't get upset about. Make sure that you have plenty of songs that don't say there is no God.
Right.
It's like that. Watch the language, and is it suitable for high schools? Is it suitable for this? Because comedy you got to target it in certain ways.
Yeah, you got to pick your market. To decide who you're going to be performing to, and then do it.
I mean, one thing that I have written during the pandemic is there's a choir back in New Zealand. That my mum and dad joined it. It's a local community choir, and they arranged that I would write a piece for this choir, or for this group of choirs, and I decided to make it this sort of ethereal. It's all sort of ethereal textures, the Eric Whittaker style, if you're familiar with Eric Whittaker, but all the lyrics are just real strong New Zealand slang.
Mm-hmm.
But it's set in this very serious choral way. So that's something that would work in New Zealand. It would work in Australia, because there's this whole subgenre of Australian YouTube videos, which is just doing bad New Zealand accents. And they don't nail a good one, because it's sort of a mixture of like real weird rural New Zealand vowels, Maori, and South African, because half of Australia can't tell the difference between New Zealand and South African accents.
Okay.
And they're just this horrible mishmash. But they get it enough that my piece would work in Australia, my piece would work in New Zealand, maybe in South Africa, maybe in the UK, depending. But it just wouldn't work in the States.
It would work in the States if the slang was confusing enough that nobody had any idea what you were saying.
Yeah, but I also wrote it in a way that, you write things, you write it and pace it in a way that the laugh comes at a certain time.
Right.
And the first key reveal turning point laugh, I don't think Americans would click that it's supposed to be a joke. So, or actually, it revolves around the phrase "sweet as." So I said "as," A-S.
Mm-hmm.
That's a feature of New Zealand English, that you can put "as" after pretty much any adjective as an intensifier. But you say that in the States, and it's very easily misheard as "ass,"
right.
A-S-S. So that becomes a problem from the conservative choir point of view as well.
Right. That's true.
Yeah.
I don't know if you if at FuMPFest you met Carrie Dalby, but she's a part of a group called Court and Country that has done like Renaissance fairs and stuff, but they also just do general choral pieces, and they definitely are always looking for funny stuff. So I could think of them as somebody who would want to have get in contact with a business that specializes in comedy choral pieces.
Good to know. I will send them the Bacon Madrigal from 2014.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, it's like a 4-part thing, like bacon, 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 bacon's freaking awesome.
Yeah, definitely. We're gonna make this a thing. You hook up with Court and Country. We'll get them back at FuMPFest in a future year, and it'll be awesome.
All right.
Because I need to hear this bacon thing sounding properly.
It's been performed twice.
All right.
I might have a recording somewhere. I probably do.
All right. So is there anything you'd like to plug?
I have an album. I released it 2 years ago. It's called... Is this in shot?
Yep.
Yep. It's called Pumpkins. And it has a track called Pumpkins. You should play it every single day in October. All 31 of them. It's on Spotify. And it's also on Bandcamp if you like to pay for your music. My website is robbieellis.net. So that's ROBBIELLIS.net.
And your shirt matches the album cover.
Yes, that's right.
And when I mentioned this before we started the show, but hang on, let me pin you so that.
Hey, look, it's pumpkins and spice. Hey.
When I first saw your shirt, for some reason I thought it said Fumpkins, and I was like, why does he have a Fumpkin shirt? I'm like, oh yeah, he put out an album called Pumpkins. That's right. So, all right, let's do some news.
All right.
This is the FuMP.
Hey, little cell, got a nice genome. Can I come and use your chromosomes? I'm a multiplier. Oh, no, I'm a virus.
I like the way you... No, you go. I like the way you... Go ahead. I just wanted to say... I'm glad I didn't get out of bed for this.
All I wanna do is zoom from my bedroom.
It's such a dump.
All I wanna do is zoom from my bedroom.
It's such a dump.
That's the Funny Music Project at thefump.com. THEFUMP.com.
What you're worth by putting that shit on a t-shirt. I like to display what someone else has expressed. I'm a t-shirt girl and I'm #blessed.
Time for funny music news. Something.
In the news, the script, the thing with the.
I've listened to the Manic Mondays podcast too many times, and I automatically Pavlovian have the and now it's time for news. The stupid. This one came in from Tom in New Jersey.
Right. I actually considered making Manic Mondays a video podcast years ago, but then it was a lot of work and nobody watched it. I put one episode up on YouTube, and it'd probably be easier to do now because I could do it just like this and do it as live. But then I'm just going to run into the same problems that the Logan Awards ran into, where I'm playing other people's music in videos and getting taken down off of all the channels, so it ain't going to happen. Anyway, 19 Viral Hits is a new album that's been produced by Jessica Delfino. This is a compilation album of quarantine-related comedy songs. The digital album is available at planetapartment.bandcamp.com, and it is currently being considered for the Grammy for Best Comedy Album. So you can check that out at planetapartment.bandcamp.com. It's 19 Viral Hits. I'm trying to put up screens of the stuff I'm talking about, and I just keep having to switch back and forth. Maddie the Moose, the bassist for Psycho Stick, has been diagnosed with COVID-19. So Psycho Stick is going to be out of commission for at least a couple of weeks. He is doing okay. He feels like he got run over and can't taste or smell anything, but he is recovering. The rest of the band are going to be tested and will be quarantining. So Psycho Stick just can't get a break, because their guitarist lost 2 members of his family recently too. So yeah, God hates comedy musicians, and apparently Psycho Stick is feeling the wrath. So we wish Psycho Stick the best, and hopefully they'll be back soon performing and whatnot. Worm Quartet has a new Kickstarter out to produce a new EP called the Pac-Man EP, because this is the 40th anniversary of Pac-Man. He is trying to raise $3,500. He is currently up to $2,531. So he is well underway there. He's like 2/3 of the way there or something like that. Perks include the album or the EP on mini CD, cassette, or vinyl, T-shirts, signed 8x10s, and at one level, Shoebox will call you on the phone, shout "Pac-Man!" and then hang up. You can also get a personalized short song from him. So head over to Kickstarter, search for Pac-Man or Worm Quartet or one of those things, and it will come right up. The Ninja Sex Party tribute album that Insane Ian produced is going to be available to the general public starting tomorrow. You'll be able to purchase the album as a digital download or on CD at nsptribute.bandcamp.com for the Ninja Sex Party tribute, nsptribute.bandcamp.com. Sales from the album, there's the thing. Sales from the album are going to be donated to Campaign Zero, which is a charity dedicated to eliminating police violence in America. And Dan from Ninja Sex Party has heard the album and said some very nice things about it.
Cool.
So check out that tomorrow, September 4th. If you weren't part of the Kickstarter but would like a copy, check it out tomorrow. And FuMPFest happened this weekend. The compilation album for FuMPFest 2020 will be available relatively soon, actually. I'm going to be putting this one out very quickly. I'm going to be putting together a short highlights video, probably 10 to 15 minutes, that's going to appear as the bonus video on the FuMP Volume 82. And I believe all the T-shirts have arrived by now. It looks like about half of the people got the T-shirts in time for the event on Saturday, and the other half didn't. I know at least one person in the chat just got theirs today. So it seems to be no rhyme or reason as to why it took as long as it did to get to various people. Luke, you had yours, right, for Saturday?
Yeah, I got mine the day of the event. So.
Yeah, so it made it all from New Jersey to California for Saturday, and these other people in Indiana and Chicago, some of them got it, some of them didn't. I don't know what the determining factor was. So, whatever. If you ordered a shirt and have not gotten it yet, let me know, because I'll look into it. All right, tour dates. Not much to report. Escape from the Secret Lab happens every Friday on YouTube, as does Carla Ulbricht's weekly performance. And Virtual Dragon Con is happening from September 3rd through the 7th, with performances by Mark Gunn, the Brobdingnagian and Bards, and I was also informed the Double Clicks will be performing at some point. So check out Virtual Dragon Con. All right. I never heard back from Sean from Miscellaneous, but he was the one who posted the second song this week, so let's give it a listen.
So who else is there? I'm going back to DJ Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Yes! That's what I'm saying.
Going back.
They said anyone can be president. That might have been a mistake. Now we've got a Cheeto in office, and our news is fake. But there's one man out there with the strength to tear down these walls. And when he perspires, it just might inspire a nation that will never fall. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is twice my praise. He stands for freedom on his two massive legs. His first couple movies, well, they weren't the best. But Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is twice my praise. world, but he's born American. Red, white, and blue. He gonna lay the smack down on some kitty-ass terrorists before his first term's through. He's the highest paid actor in the world, yeah. Why can't he be next? And Uncle Sam can throw the people's elbow when Dwayne is totes my praise. Dwayne The Rock Johnson is totes my praise. A country united shouldn't settle for less. There's no safer place than his rippling chest. Cause Dwayne The Rock Johnson is totes my praise. Just think of the states that he's gonna save, like Maine and Wisconsin. Like in Jumanji 2, he'll know what to do, cause he's Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Dwayne The Rock Johnson is totes my praise. I see America's pride on his shiny bald head. He'll fight for justice while he's scantily dressed. Cause Dwayne The Rock Johnson is totes my praise. Dwayne The Rock Johnson is totes my praise. He's got all the charisma and zero bad press. I'm no political expert, but I'm gonna suggest Dwayne The Rock Johnson, Dwayne The Rock Johnson, Dwayne The Rock Johnson is totes my praise.
Have fun.
Making the internet absolutely ridiculous. Dementia Radio.
www.dementiaradio.org. Port 8027.
Please hang up and try again.
This is the part where there's feedback.
Feedback.
Feedback, you know that segment of the show we do about now?
Feedback. Feedback.
Feedback.
All right, we have no feedback this week. So, Robbie, you want to try to get some more people on the call? You got to unmute yourself.
Yes, you're absolutely right that I have to unmute myself.
All right, you want me? You want?
Yeah. So Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Interesting commentary. Like the song said he's from Samoa but all American, but like his family is from American Samoa, so already American. Fun fact, he lived in New Zealand for a time, went to primary school just around the corner from my old flat in Grey Lynn. So I lived like 100 meters from that school. I actually voted there in the 2014 election. It was my local polling place. Richmond Road Primary School. Who's joining here? Ross Childs!
Ross, how you doing? I'm putting the link in the chats, and we'll see if anyone wants to join.
Yeah, give it a minute or two more.
Yeah.
But yeah, Ross Childs revealed in the group comedy album chat that he recorded all his parts for a few songs today without pants.
Nice. That's always fun. And we got Wildcard. Hey, Wildcard. He's muted too. That's okay.
Yeah.
I'll go on mute till it's time to sing.
Okay.
Yeah, you're good.
There's Wildcard. Hello. We're not hearing you at all. You got Brett Glass.
This is a good, healthy number of people.
Okay. I have no idea what you're doing, so.
Yeah, exactly. That's fun. It's fun, eh? But we're just inviting random people into the chat. Ross knows what I'm doing, but that's about it. Oh, cool. You got a full-on green screen. Brett Glass, hello.
You have to unmute yourself, Brett.
Yep, I'm now unmuted.
There you are.
And Christy Avery. So as I say that, it's probably wise that everybody does mute themselves except for me at this point in time.
Okay.
So this is a song that is going to be on the yet untitled group comedy album. Plus, it's a solo that I've written since March. 20 freaking 20. You've been quite a year. We can't go out to see live shows. But for a moment in time, we can play pretend with an experiment. Let's see how this goes. We're singing along on Zoom.
We're singing along on Zoom.
Like we're in a single room.
Like we're in a single room.
And as we say, certain doom.
It's nothing like certain doom.
We're singing along on Zoom.
We're singing along on Zoom.
Now more than ever, as we're in the new normal, says every corporation, school, government, department, and non-profit institute. In these difficult times, these challenging times, unprecedented times, we're all in this together, so unmute. Apple Shift A, unmute, yeah. We're singing along on Zoom.
We're singing along on Zoom.
Like we're in a single room.
Like we're in a single room.
And as we face certain doom.
And as we face certain doom.
We're singing along on Zoom.
We're singing along on Zoom.
It's at this time that I look around the Zoom chat and I think and I nominate a few people who are going to do an improvised vocal guitar solo starting with Tom, guitar solo. Okay, never mind, go to Luke. Ross Childs with your various things. Heather. Jake Dewar with an actual guitar. And your solo's over. Okay, we're clapping along on Zoom.
We're clapping along on Zoom.
Like we're in a single room.
Like we're in a single room.
Really out of time. And as we face certain doom.
And as we face certain doom.
We're singing along on Zoom.
We're singing along on Zoom.
Okay, big finish. We're singing along on... Stop. Ooh, very good. Thank you all for joining.
All right.
Yeah.
Just made it.
Very nice. So let's make sure we credit everybody who joined the chat. We got Sea Monkey, Jake. We got Jake Dewar, Mr. Arthur, Wildcard, Brett Glass, Heather Meza, Ross Childs, and Christy Avery. So thank you for joining us, folks.
So if you were listening earlier in the FuMPCast, you would have heard me mention the group comedy album. That's not its official title, but for all I know, it might be. Jake Dewar, Ross Childs, and Heather Meza are all on that project, as well as 6 other comedy songwriters. Look out for that. It'll be on my socials, Jake's socials, Heather's socials, Ross's socials, possibly the FuMP as well. When it comes out, we don't have a name.
Once I get a good like, once we've got a good promo, I don't know, say something on TikTok. Maybe that'll help.
Yeah. Come get the group comedy music album. It's got comedy, groups, albums, groups, comedy, albums, guitars, a guitar solo, harmony vocals, benches.
Nitrocellulose wrapping on the CD.
Come to the Mars Cheese Castle while it still stands in Kenosha, because Kenosha's going bye-bye.
Untitled album.
I think the Mars Cheese Castle is I thought it was considered like hallowed ground. Like that's like an unofficial neutral ground.
I mean, it's strictly Kenosha County, but it's not Kenosha City. I think it's safe.
I grew up in Lake Geneva, Wisconsin, and I lived in Kenosha for a while, so I'm just like, I don't want to get serious, but parts of this past week were not good for me. I was just, but yeah, Mars Cheese Castle all the way.
The one time I went there, it was closed for unscheduled renovations.
You mentioned that, and I think someone said you should go again. You should go again. It's like a 45-minute drive.
Yeah, and then a 2-week quarantine on the way back. Oh no,
no.
They took Wisconsin off the list now.
Only if you stay the night. It's only you only have to self quarantine if you stay there longer than a day.
Good call.
Laura got on my ass about this when we went to when we went to Mars Cheese Castle, and so I did the research. I looked it up. It's a full like you have to go somewhere because people go to and from Wisconsin and between this state and Wisconsin,
Illinois
all the time. Like there's people who commute to Chicago from Kenosha.
Well, we're going to downstate Illinois tomorrow. There are apparently a bunch of big sculptures in Casey, Illinois, which is on the road between Indianapolis and St. Louis. So we're going to see the big things and then drive back north. Yeah, that's our plan for tomorrow.
Okay, cool.
Could I step in for just a moment and say that this is the first Zoom sing-along that I ever participated in?
There's no time.
There isn't time.
There's no time.
Oh, darn.
All right, so, Robbie, plug yourself one more time.
RobbieEllis.net. Buy my shit on Bandcamp. I have t-shirts.
And I honestly don't know what Miscellaneous's website is. Is it miscellaneous.com? I imagine it can't be. Hang on. It's probably
somebody's not muted when they should be.
Probably Miscellaneous Band.
Miscellaneous sounds like an internet terrorist organization.
There's a link in their FuMP profile that goes to YouTube, and it's this long. So you're going to have to look that up. All right, teasing. Tomorrow's song is a last-minute substitute. I had to rearrange the whole schedule, folks. Everything's messed up from here to October. Tomorrow's song is by Money Shot Cosmonauts.
Woo!
And Tuesday's song is by Van Stone.
Excellent.
So does anybody else on the call want to plug anything?
Becca just arrived, so she should plug something. Sorry, you missed the Zoom sing-along.
Are you kidding?
No, sorry.
Oh.
It was exactly at 8:50.
I caught it just in time for the first chorus, so you're not alone.
No, I thought it was at 9 and 8:50 was call. Oh dang!
I didn't know I would be in a
as
show.
Someone who didn't do
everyone.
anything. Someone who didn't do anything. That's me, Becca. I should get all the credit for doing nothing, for not showing up. So, much like a representative of a important high CEO position of myself. I think our musical comedy album is going to be really great when it comes out. So just keep an eye out for that on Robbie's page, Jake's page, Ross's page, my page.
Heather was here just before as well.
Heather's page. echo. There's an echo.
There's an echo in the chat. I'm not hearing it.
Echo in the chat?
Yeah, I'm not hearing it.
It might be a metaphorical echo.
Yeah.
Oh, as in nobody's saying anything.
There's an echo in the chat.
Maybe.
Just like there's a snake in my boots.
Somebody poisoned the water hole.
Okay. Well, good times. Thanks.
Thanks for coming, Becca.
Yeah, for doing nothing.
See you in the group.
I love doing it.
Becca, I will say this because she didn't say it. Becca does the best impression of a British rapper that I've ever heard.
Oh, thank you.
Just because, and I only bring this up because I recently discovered this one video from this British rapper named Millie B, and it was like a feud between her and this other woman named like Sophie Aspen, and it's just them going back and forth, and the videos are atrocious because they're both produced by the same dude, which I personally think is a conflict of interest, but it's really interesting. And I heard and on one of the songs, Becca is doing a British rap, and it reminded me a lot of that.
Yeah, this is a very distinct style, but you gotta check out the album when it comes out, by a bunch of really great comedians. And okay, for not doing anything, this has been really great, and I feel like I broke a sweat. That's about it. So
We're not doing anything. This is
encore.
Encore. Sea Monkey, plug the
Encore, then?
Boobles. Plug the Boobles Indiegogo.
Actually, Becca, you can be part of it.
Yeah, do it. There we go. Yeah. We're singing on Zoom. We're fighting Dr. Doom. We're singing a song on Zoom. Come on, one more time, everybody.
Well, that's
Oh my god, you have one of those? Dude.
What is that thing, and why does it have a face?
It's like the chocobo instrument or something, right? What is it called?
Automaton.
Yeah, that's it. Nothing.
Oh, monochoke?
Whoa.
That's amazing.
I gotta go.
Okay.
Sid and Marty Croft.
Yeah, so do I. We gotta wrap this up.
Thanks, I hate it.
Thanks.
Oh, Boobles Indiegogo's at 99%.
Oh, is it? Nice. Awesome.
All
I love you all.
So we just leave?
Yeah, well, I'm gonna play an outro.
That's the most awkward thing about Zoom is like it's so easy to Irish goodbye, and I don't like Irish goodbying.
I do it every time with my work meeting, my day job meeting. Just leave.
Yeah.
Just assume everybody knows that you were there, and then that you can just go.
My mom raised me to say, make sure you say goodbye to everybody before you leave.
Oh, yeah.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Oh, bye.
Goodbye, everybody.
Are we still talking about
Thank
it?
you for listening to the Funny Music Podcast. I'm Devo Spice.
I'm Luke Ski.
And there's a whole bunch of other people here.
I'm a whole bunch of people.
Thank you for listening to the Funny Music Podcast. You can listen live every Thursday night at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 Pacific at DementiaRadio.org and join us in the chat. Or subscribe to the podcast feed. Look us up on iTunes and be sure to leave us a review. Feedback for the show can be sent to info@thefump.com. The Funny Music Podcast is a production of Fidem Interactive, LLC, released under a Creative Commons share-alike license. Tell your friends, tell your enemies, shout it to random people on the street, and be sure to visit thefump.com for the latest funny songs. Tune in next week where you'll hear Luke Ski say,
Take on me. Take me on. I'll be gone